So this is, of course it would get louder. Um, this is, what if Goku was Angel Saiyan hybrid? And for starters, give you some background. The reason he's an Angel Saiyan hybrid is because Bardock is gonna be the son of one of the Grand Priest's flings. Yes, I know, it's kind of messed up. But we're just gonna say, hypothetically, Bardock's mom is a normal Saiyan, and his father was the Grand Priest. But the Grand Priest abandoned him, so he was never taught how to use the Ultra Instinct technique, and he was never trained. While he was born strong, he just never was trained by the angels or was someone that could meet his standards. Because after like a couple of weeks, months maybe, of training, he surpassed everyone he knew. Since the angel potential is, in his genes. And he was like 45%, like he had 45% angel in him. That's what we're gonna say. So he didn't look too much like an angel because he still had the normal, like, Saiyan look, but he just possessed the abilities and potential of one. And the calm-headedness, like he's a lot calmer than most Saiyans. So when he had his first son, Raditz also inherited the angel genes, and he's a quarter angel. So it's not like a half angel thing, he's just a quarter angel. And exactly 2 years after Raditz is born, that's when Goku was born. So they grew up together pretty much, knowing each other. And we're going to time skip to when this is a couple of days before the destruction of Planet Vegeta. So Goku and Raditz, the brothers, would be training with their father. And Naruto was born with a power level of 5,000, but he wasn't cast out for the reason that since Bardock can easily overpower King Vegeta doesn't test him or pretty much oppose him, or he would, because he knows he's gonna lose. And so Naruto, oh no, not Naruto, Goku and, well, Kakarot and Raditz would be training with their father. I feel like I was saying something and I skipped. Okay, let me say that because I feel like I skipped parts. Alright, so Goku's. I'm just gonna call him Goku because I can't call him Kakarot. I don't know why, I keep forgetting. But so Goku has a born power level of 5,000, and with a couple of not really years, well, yeah, years of light training as a kid, he bumped it up to 7,500. And Raditz, with the training he's been undergoing, while he had a lower power level than Goku when he was born, his power level was only 1,000. But with the intense training he would do, he was able to boost it up to a 9,000, being stronger than his brother. And they would train with each other, but sometimes when they would train with their dad, they would try to team up on him and try to beat him. But his calm-headedness also gave him an advantage, while they would start to, since they are more Saiyan-like than he was, and he was pretty Saiyan-like, they have the calm nature, but sometimes their angers can overpower it. So him just dodging their attacks would kind of make them angry. It would mess up their fighting styles. But other than that, they still benefit from this training. And after a couple of days of training with Bardock, they would gain a small increase, but Raditz was sent out on the mission with Prince Vegeta, sorry, and Nappa, while Goku was at home with his mother, just, chilling out, waiting to be assigned a mission. And he was kind of bummed that he couldn't go on the mission with Raditz, saying that's his brother. They have a pretty good bond. But, dang. Frieza would arrive and, tell all the Saiyans to come back to planet Vegeta. And Bardock would come back and tell Goku to leave the planet. Goku being hesitant at first, this is his Saiyan or warrior blood kicking in, wanting to fight for his planet. But after some convincing, and by convincing I mean Bardock had to knock him out and put him in a space pod, he was sent off to Earth. And Bardock sent him to Earth because he knows he would be able to handle himself there, as there have been no high power level since there. And Bardock would, and the rest of the Saiyans would try to hold off Frieza's attack when he blew up the planet, but it was kind of useless, and they died. Now we're going to do another time skip. We're skipping past we're skipping right to before the King Piccolo part. So this is a little bit before King Piccolo arrived. And Goku has had some training, but he's met everyone he knows already besides, Piccolo and stuff. And he's gained a bit of power by, training by himself. And when he fights against Master Roshi, his new rival, because he doesn't train under Master Roshi for the reason he's stronger than him. And second, because he doesn't, since he's an angel, he has this feeling of superiority, and he feels like he should be teaching. Kind of ironic, because, angels were the teachers of the gods of destruction. So that's kind of why I wanted this to be like this. But yeah, so Goku at 10% power is 1,200. His power level would be 1,200, which means at full power he has a power level of 12,000. And this far exceeds his Saiyan Saga counterpart, and we're not even in the Saiyan Saga yet. But Master Roshi, whenever he fights against Goku, he would always go into his buff form, as he knows that's the only way he can actually, quote-unquote, compete with Naruto. Oh my god, with Goku. I've done too many Naruto what-ifs. But with Goku. So, is that a crack? Oh, dang, I already cracked my phone. Who cares? So Master Roshi would appear in front of Goku before throwing a barrage of punches, but Goku would be able to block these attacks by putting his arm, basically he's just blocking the attacks with the palm of his hand before using the power pole to sweep his legs. Because he doesn't want to punch him too hard, because he still doesn't really know how to pull his punches. So he just uses the power pole instead, because he can control how hard he swings. So when he sweeps Master Roshi's feet, he would then pull the pole and push it to Master Roshi's chest, and then making it extend, pushing Master Roshi through the ground and kicking up grass and dirt. Out of nowhere, Goku would then be kicked by Krillin. But the kick wouldn't do much, as Krillin has his foot planted into the side of Goku's head, and Goku would grab hold of Krillin's foot and start slamming him on the ground multiple times, over and over again, before throwing him in the air and then using the power pole to extend upwards and headbutt Krillin. This would knock Krillin out almost instantly, and he would be sent falling. And as soon as Master Roshi would have gotten up from his position, Krillin would have fell headfirst into Master Roshi's chest. And since he went pretty high, this would actually do a bit of damage to Master Roshi, putting him right back onto the ground. And Master Roshi was then exhausted, as he would revert back to his normal form, and Goku would have won the spar. Now, some time later, Goku, Krillin, well, just Goku and Krillin, because this time, Master Roshi feels no need to enter into the Tenkaichi Budokai as Jackie Chun to teach his students a lesson, or to make sure they don't get too arrogant or something. I forgot what the reason was that he entered in as Jackie Chun, but since Goku's stronger than him, he doesn't really he can't really put Goku in his place because Goku's always been stronger than him. So he just lets Krillin and Goku join. And they easily destroy the competition. No problem. And the fight is between them two. And since Goku is not allowed to use the power pole, he's stuck using just his arm. Not even his hands. Because like I said, he doesn't know how to pull his punches, and he doesn't want to hurt Krillin. So he would run up to Krillin, and Krillin would run up to him. Krillin would throw a punch that Goku would easily duck under before swinging his arm backwards and connecting his arm right into Krillin's gut. And this would make Krillin cough up some spit. And then Goku would then sweep Krillin's leg before using his other arm to slap Krillin. And this would send Krillin twirling as he would then hit the ground. Goku, not wanting to inflict any more unnecessary damage, he would grab Krillin by the leg, and Krillin would be desperately trying to cling on to the tiles of the tournament arena ring thing. But Goku was just too strong for him, as Goku dragged him to the edge and threw him out. And this made Goku the winner of the Tenkaichi Budokai. And they would go to celebrate with the money. Krillin would go back for Goku's stuff. And once Krillin got there, he was confronted by Tambourine, who for some reason he has a power level of 340. I checked the guidebooks, I checked Google, I checked everything. He has a power level of 340, I guess. So Krillin stood no chance, as all of his attacks either had no effect or were dodged. And Tambourine killed Krillin. Goku was shocked, as soon as Krillin died, he could feel all of it. He could just feel his ki disappear. And he knew that Krillin was pretty strong, so he didn't think a human could have killed him, as he doesn't even know that people like Tambourine exist. So, as Tambourine began to fly off, Goku would look at Krillin's lifeless body and start to feel anger welling up inside of him, as he would then appear above Tambourine and punch him in his face, just taking his head off his shoulders. And when I say this, I mean it. Tambourine's head just knocked it straight off, killing Tambourine. And then he would look up into the sky to see it darken. And he knows what this means. Someone's using the Dragon Ball. So he tries to locate the energy, the highest energy he can find, that isn't Master Roshi's. And he finds it, and he goes to it. And on his way to it, it spikes up even higher. And he wonders what had happened. Goku has made it to the power level, and he sees another green creature, but this time he doesn't have wings, and he has these antennas on his head with pink circles all on his arms. He would ask this green man who he was, and this man would announce himself to be the Demon King Piccolo. As he would then ask the boy, calling him a brat, who he was. Naruto, oh my god, Goku would then look into the Demon King's eyes, saying, "You don't need to know that, for in a couple of seconds you'll be dead." This would make the Demon King laugh, but then he would feel a sharp pain in his stomach as Goku was under him, punching him in his gut. He would then stare into Goku's eyes as Goku would pull his fist from out of Piccolo's gut, and he could see a purple liquid on his arms. He then started to realize that this was his own blood, and he looked at his gut, and there was a hole in it. He can see straight through. As he would then start to lose consciousness, and as he died, he would spit out an egg. Goku did not care for this egg, so he left it alone, as he had obviously seen it shoot past him. Oh crap, I just dropped my phone. During Goku's break, preparing for Piccolo Jr., as he was told by Kami, he doesn't actually go to train with Kami. He goes to train by himself. And while he trains by himself, well, the first year, I'm pretty sure it was like a 3 years time skip or something. But for the first year, he trains normally. Second year, he remembers that the gravity on planet Vegeta was a lot stronger than it is here. So he has the idea of something that can increase gravity, a gravity chamber. He asked Bulma if she can do it. She could do it, but it took her a couple of months. I'd say about 3. And for the rest of the 9 months, he trained in the gravity chamber, giving him incredible gains. And for the final year, he was told by Kami that there was a room, that one day in there is a year outside. So Goku would go there and train for 1 whole year, take a break. He would train for a whole day, well, half a day, which is half a year in real time. Well, I mean, no, he spent half a year in the time chamber, but only half a day in the real world. And then he spent real time half a year, just a break, and then for the rest of the year he trained in preparations for Piccolo. And Piccolo is severely outmatched. And Goku's also wearing this outfit for the reason that since he never trained under Master Roshi, he doesn't have a Turtle Hermit gi. And Goku at 10% his power is 10,000, which is still leagues above Piccolo. And since if he's at 10% and that makes his power 10,000, that means that Nappa and Vegeta, canon time Nappa and Vegeta, do not stand a chance. Nor does beginning of the Frieza Saga, the Namek Saga Goku. Because Namek Saga Goku was at a power level of 60,000, I'm pretty sure. So, Piccolo would then take off his weights, not wanting to waste any time, as he would rush Goku and throw a punch that Goku would dodge effortlessly. Piccolo would then throw lightning speed punches and rapid kicks, but Goku would just dodge and swerve past all these attacks before using the back of his hand and jabbing Piccolo in the face. This would do great amounts of damage to Piccolo, and it was a light punch for Goku. And this surprises Goku himself, as he didn't know he had got that strong. And Piccolo would be even more surprised, as he didn't know someone could be that strong. And then Goku would kick him in his chest, sending him flying out of the arena and knocking him unconscious. But Goku spares him, and he lets Piccolo know that he can come train with him at any time. And Piccolo, knowing by himself he could never hope to pass or even catch up to Goku, so he decides to train with Goku. Goku gets with Chi-Chi like in the original and has Gohan. And Gohan is like tiny bit of angel. Like not even like he's more okay, so this is how it's split up. He's a Saiyan, like he's like 45% Saiyan, right? And then he's like 40% human. So that's 85. And then he's 15% angel. Okay, that's what I'm gonna go with, because why not? So this gives Gohan a greater born power level. Gohan's born power level is 6,500, which is 1,500 more than his father's was at when he was born. But he has less potential than his father because the way his genes are split up. Because when he was just half human, half Saiyan, his potential was peaked. But now that he's also angel, this kind of disrupts the other two parts. So while he still has great amounts of potential, his potential still surpasses the canon version Gohan. He doesn't have greater potential than Goku, since Goku is like perfectly split. Well, not perfectly split, but split in between two different. It's hard to explain, but he's two different beings pretty much instead of three. That's how I'm viewing this. And Piccolo is just weakling. You know what I'm saying? But with training, his power level did increase. I just didn't feel like putting it because I made. Okay, so let me explain. So I made these edits a couple of days ago. I just didn't care for it and didn't use it yet. And then I made some adjustments today, like a couple hours ago, and I didn't feel like changing the power level thing. Yeah. But one day, Goku feels a large power level approaching his planet. It's the highest power level he's ever seen, other than his own. And when he would go outside, he would see his brother. It was Raditz. As this would bring a smile to his face, and Piccolo would then fly next to Goku, getting ready to fight Raditz. But Goku would tell Piccolo to calm down, as he knows this person. And he would go to his brother, and they would share a long stare of like them just seeing how strong the other had got. But Goku's even more proud, as he's leagues above his brother. And the reason why Raditz is weaker than Goku is because, so since he was stuck with Nappa and Vegeta with a power level of 18,000 and Nappa with a power level of 4,000, Nappa was already weaker than Raditz, and Raditz had no reason to train to pass him. But since Raditz was always tired of losing to Vegeta, he decided to train. And after a month of training, he had already surpassed Vegeta. But there were still some foes who gave him trouble, so he trained a little more, thus giving him his power level of 30,000. But after that, all the missions were too easy for him, and not even Zarbon and Dodoria could beat him. The only force that posed a threat to him was the Ginyu Force. Well, some people from the Ginyu Force, like Goldo, would easily be slapped. But so the Ginyu Force and Frieza himself. But he had no reason to aspire to be stronger than them because he just didn't care. And the Ginyu Force never really messed with him. And that's where I'm gonna end this off, though. Hopefully you guys liked it, and hopefully you guys will watch part 2 if I make one. Mr. Sato, out.